really quick, while I have you. Philo, have you heard about it? Oh, it's the best. They're giving you 25% off 2 months of Hallmark, Lifetime, Up, GAC, the sorts. The movies we're talking about? Philo. 25% off. Philo.tv/DTH. Don't let this pass you by. Philo.tv/DTH. Here's the episode.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast. Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hey, I'm Panda, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hi, I'm Betsy from Hallmark Happenings, and I think Hallmark Channel is great.
And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Yeah.
Boy,
What's up?
I mean, it's a big day.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, y'all?
What's up, y'all?
It's a big Monday,
Oh, such a big Monday. Kicking off another week. I'm so excited to kick off another week.
right?
Yes.
Is this weekend 4?
Weekend
Already?
Mamba number 5.
Wow.
But
Is it-
weekend number 4.
No, weekend number 3.
Weekend number 4.
This is the 15th movie we've
So,
done?
yeah.
Wow.
That's
Wait.
shocking.
No, maybe
way.
not.
I think this is weekend number 3.
No, it's definitely weekend number 4.
It's weekend number 4. This is
Yes.
it. 15, 16, 17, 8. No.
No, this is 13.
13.
So you
That-
were wrong. The
I was-
15th threw me off.
The 15th threw you
Yep.
off, and that's on me. And here's the other thing is
What's
we've
up?
been trying to get as many other Hallmark podcasters to come in and
Yes.
join us. And we had an issue with the budget because we were able to land
Yeah.
Betsy from Hallmark
Right.
Happenings.
And we sent her
But-
audio equipment and
Yeah,
everything.
but there was this video thing.
Okay,
where
here's what happened.
she demanded quite a large sum of money
Yes.
because it's a big deal to get
Yes.
Betsy from Hallmark Happenings. And we could not pay that
It was
amount
a
of money.
lot.
And she agreed to do audio out of the goodness of her heart. And Trace, what was the issue?
So the Skype computer, it shut down, blew up on fire.
Shut down, blew up on fire.
Yes.
I
is what
don't
you
feel
said.
like that's
That doesn't sound
That
accurate.
Betsy,
doesn't-
welcome to the show. How are you?
Well, I'm great. I'm sorry my budget of $5 was too much. Hopefully we can raise some money next time.
It's been a tough
Look,
year.
it's been a
Betsy.
tough year,
It's been a
COVID,
year.
in this economy,
In this
Betsy.
economy,
I
it's
just
been-
don't know.
Yeah,
We can't.
tricky.
Betsy, what a joy it is. You've had me and Dan on your lovely podcast.
And speaking of
people,
a difficult get,
good Lord.
it's Panda. Panda's a prima donna. He's such a holdout for these things.
So let's just do this right here. Let's schedule this interview. Like, why? Like, I'm just
Let's make
thinking.
it happen. Let's make it happen.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your schedule look like?
I'm wide open.
Yeah.
I'm wide open.
Mhm.
So you're saying Betsy's been the
Betsy's been difficult
Oh
to
my
deal with.
gosh.
And
Betsy
it's
has
not
done nothing but message us just whenever we've asked for anything. And she asked, and we said we'd let you see if you could get in touch. And you now have claimed that you didn't hear that.
I didn't even know. Betsy, I would have been on this podcast thousands of times by now. Thousands.
Thousands?
Maybe millions. I don't
Hallmark
even know.
Happenings is new in the last. Betsy, when did you start doing the podcast?
I know the exact date. Surprisingly, it's May 23rd.
Okay, so you've been doing the podcast for about 6 months now, almost exactly 6 months.
Okay, that's 180 days.
yeah. There is no world where she has 1,000 episodes.
If I would show up eight times a day to break 1,000.
Wow, you'd walk 100 miles.
Betsy, do you still want Panda to come on your podcast, or is that ship sailed? You can be honest.
Well, I'll have to think about it. I may have to
Just
raise
say
the
the
budget
ship
to
is sailed.
$550 if you want
yeah,
to
yeah,
be
more
on.
than fair. More than fair.
Just kidding. No, I'd love to have
Betsy-
you on, Panda.
Oh, thank you.
Tell everyone about Hallmark Happenings and why it's so great.
How did it burn? Like, why'd you start it in May 23rd?
Well, I don't really know. I just discovered podcasts kind of recently with the Gilmore Girls podcast, and it's amazing. And I was like, I like listening to things while you're working or whatever. You can just like listen. And I love Hallmark Channel. I've watched it forever. And I know the Bubbly Sesh was going away. I was like, are there other people doing this? How does this work? And so I had the equipment, and I was like, well, we'll see what happens. And that is the great grand scheme of that.
I love it.
Fantastic.
I love it. Were you listening? Is it what's his name? Scott Peterson? Is that who
Scott
does the,
Patterson. yes.
Patterson.
So
Scott
close.
Patterson. What do you think of that show?
His podcast or Gilmore
Yeah.
Girls?
No, his podcast in particular.
I'm enjoying all the, the guests from the series. I'm a super fan.
Yeah,
So
great.
I'm rewatching the whole series anyway, like as he's doing the episode. So you can like listen to them after you watch it. And it's like, oh, it's so cool to hear the behind the scenes things. But I'm wearing a Gilmore Girls shirt right now. But
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I wish we could see it.
the
but
video,
budget
the whole
again.
budget.
Yep.
It was a
But
summer.
yeah, I
economy.
think
What are we
the
gonna do?
guests are also great.
Yeah.
Scott is my favorite host.
Wow. You're just out here
what's
just
your beef
calling
with
out.
Scott? What's your
I don't
beef
have
with
a
Scott?
beef with Scott. I don't have a beef
I
with
feel like
Scott.
he's got a beef with Scott.
I have a beef with Scott. December 2014.
14.
I can't get into
Is this
it.
the knuckleball tournament?
This is a knuckleball
Yeah,
tournament. We
I
can't
thought
get
about
into
it.
it.
We can't.
We can't get into
No.
it.
We got a guest. It's just
yes,
the
we
lack
got-
of
we don't
decorum in that story.
but Betsy, you have a big time guest coming up aside from Panda coming up. Tell everybody, is it this week? You have a fun interview coming out?
Yes, sir, it is this week.
Thank you for calling me, sir.
Kimberly. Oh, anytime, sir. Sir Bran. Kimberly Sustad's gonna be on, and we're talking
Whoa!
kittens of Christmas.
I love it.
Hey, Betsy, I'm telling you right now, it took us 2 years to get Kimberly Sustad on
Track
our
her
program.
down.
And you
Oh,
did
really?
it in under 6 months. So congratulations. You're doing great work. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but-
it's fun. We're talking lots of kittens. There are a lot of kitten stories. So if you like
Mm.
cats, this is the episode for you.
We got Panda on our first episode though, so
We did, yeah. So good luck with that,
Wow.
Betsy.
we got you beat. We wanted you to join us for Open by Christmas, which we're very excited to break down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We want to just get into it.
Let's dive
Do
on
we
it.
wanna get
Let's
into
do
it?
it.
Okay.
Let's get our hands dirty with this one.
What?
Why do you make it weird?
That's
I wasn't
weird.
making it.
You made it weird.
I didn't make it weird. I feel like it was perfectly normal thing to say. Let's get our hands dirty.
Betsy, do you think that was weird?
A little.
All right, fine.
I love the honesty.
Because it was weird.
Has the ship sailed and having Panda on, and Betsy's like, well, kinda.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I can't blame her at this
No,
point,
no, no.
guys.
All
I
right,
stand by that.
guys, let's get our hands dirty. Open by Christmas.
Are we in the mob? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on right now? Let's murder Brennan Elliott.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I would never.
Out of context, DTH is what happened there.
Open by Christmas originally aired on November 12th, 2021, and it went a little something like this. Nikki gives presentations about efficiency, but she's more fun than that sounds. Trust me. She heads to her parents' house for Thanksgiving. Oh, sound the Thanksgiving alarm! I originally thought it was for Christmas, and I was so taken aback that I wrote Thanksgiving in all caps. She's really excited to see her best friend Simone. At Thanksgiving dinner with her parents, they tell Nikki that they're going to downsize and sell the house. She takes it well-ish and agrees to reluctantly agrees to stay through Christmas to help pack and have one last Christmas in the house. While going through some old books, she finds a Christmas card that she's never seen before. And it's a love letter of sorts, and she has no idea who wrote it, despite some personal antidotes.
You mean anecdotes. An antidote is what you take if you have poison. So these are not personal antidotes. You dummy. They're personal.
I don't think we watched the same movie. There were just little needles everywhere.
24 hours to live without the antidote.
And he made a personal one for
Yeah,
it. It
it's
was
personal.
wild.
And
It's
that
personal.
antidote, and this time it's personal.
Trust me, you're going to need this.
Anecdote. Anecdote.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
She starts crying, so she's clearly handling everything very well. Her friend Simone is engaged to a guy named Jeremy, who's all buddy-buddy with her son Anthony. Jeremy's planning on surprising Simone by buying a house for her, and Anthony is in on it. Simone tells Nikki that she should try to find out who wrote the note. When she gets back to her parents' house, she meets a realtor named Derek, who's all kinds of awkward around her. Derek brings a painting from a high school friend named Reggie, who she remembers from high school. So maybe it's Reggie. So she tracks Reggie down, and guys, I got bad news. It's not Reggie.
It's not Reggie.
It's not Reggie.
Unbelievable.
We find out that Nikki's parents are handwriting detectives and inform her that the writer must have been left-handed, because if you look at the T's here, it's all about the T's. Nikki and Derek hang out some more, buying Christmas decorations to help decorate the house and doing some, light conversation about divorce, the kind. And then tells her, hey, you kind of just need to relax a little bit. And she doesn't take that very well. At a Christmas party, Nikki continues her search for the letter. The writer of the letter says, hey, I think it might be this guy. And then that guy's husband walks up, or fiance, and she quickly realizes it's probably not this guy. But then she goes out to a Mexican restaurant with Derek. And, she shares an embarrassing story about her graduation speech. She shares it's just a big old embarrassing margarita time. You guys know the ones.
Yeah.
Simone's mother-in-law or future mother-in-law is coming into town. And Jeremy's like, hey, you got to get in good, because she's a tough nut to crack. But they end up kind of bonding later on, and it's real sweet. So there's they're trying to figure out again who's this whole handwriting, who wrote this. And when the future mother-in-law sees the note, she's like, oh, I know this letter. If I know this handwriting, it is my son's, your future husband, Simone. And they're like, what? Jeremy liked me in high school? And the mother-in-law's like, I tell no lies. It is what it is. But then Jeremy comes in and says, hey, good news, everybody. I did not like you in high school.
I wouldn't have dared.
I would never. I did a buddy a solid, and he told me what to write, and I wrote it because I have just amazing.
The handwriting's so
it's so good. His is just you wouldn't even know. And they're like, tell us, and he's like, I promised. I can't do that. So it's the night of the big house reveal. You guys know the one?
Mm-hmm.
And they walk in, and Simone is like, this is crazy. And there's a big party. All of the friends are there. And Derek takes Nikki outside and basically tells the truth in a sense. Like, he gives her a note that's like, it's signed this time. It was blank. And he's like, I signed it this time. It was a weird way for him to come out and say, hey, I wrote the letter, but whatever. They're all confused, but then she realizes it, and she's so happy that it's him because they've had such a wonderful time together. And then Jeremy and Simone, they kiss in the background, and then they fades outside, and the snow is falling, and they're kissing, and everybody's kissing at this point as the snow falls. And that, my friends, was Open by Christmas.
We did it.
We did it.
Yes, sir.
I think if it's okay with everybody, we'll take a quick break.
Sure. Yeah.
And
we got some things to do over the break.
Got some things to do.
Okay,
I'm
great.
excited. I'm excited about it.
Let's get our hands dirty.
All right,
Let's do it.
No? Oh, we got some mail.
Ooh, mail time.
Oh, I love cake.
No, don't we all?
I love cake. Betsy, do you like cake?
Let them eat cake.
That's exactly
Yep.
right. And a lot of people have been asking me, Bran, is there any possible world where Milk Bar, my favorite cookie establishment, also makes really good cake? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know
wow.
it seems like a very pointed
come on.
question.
It's a very specific question.
It is. But here's the good news is they do make delicious cake. And everybody, if you've had a Milk Bar cookie, you know how delicious they are. But they have some signature birthday cakes. They've got a salty, sweet a cookie. They've got a pie. Basically, what I'm trying to say is they've got your holiday desserts covered. Whatever you could possibly think of that you're needing this holiday season, such as a pumpkin Milk Bar pie or an apple cider donut cake. The desserts that you need for Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving or this giving or that giving, Milk Bar has you covered with fast, even overnight if you need it, nationwide delivery. I love Milk Bar.
Wow.
My wife, like, she'll just be like, can we order some Milk Bar cookies? I love them so much. And I'll be like, I guess we got to order the Milk Bar cookies. What can you do? And here's the good news, everybody, is Milk Bar has a special limited time offer for our listeners. They're giving us $10 off, everybody. $10 off orders of $50 or more by going to Milk Bar Store.
20%, Brandon. 20% if you order $50 worth of cookies.
I didn't want to do that math because I was figured
That's
I would have done
unbelievable.
it wrong. It really is.
Man.
Milkbarstore.com/deck. That's milkbarstore.com/deck to get $10 off $50. Milkbarstore.com/deck. Speaking of good deals, don't forget the entire season of Deck the Hallmark is brought to you by Philo.
Gotta go to Philo.
Philo's so good. They got all the channels. It's your holiday movie hub.
Holiday movie hub.
Hallmark, Lifetime. We've got the Lifetime movies coming up this Wednesday. Our
You got
first
the Up,
one.
you got the GAC, you got all of them.
All that you could want, and they're giving you 25%
Yes.
off
For 2 months.
2 months?
For the entire holiday season.
Sheesh. All you got to do is go
Year-long
to
DVR.
amazing.
Come on.
Philo.tv. That's important. /DTH. It's Philo.tv/DTH.
Tell Tammy we sent you.
No. Welcome back, everybody. Talking
boy.
about Open by Christmas.
I'm so excited that we're doing it.
So
too.
excited. So excited. Betsy, did you have a good break? Did you do anything? Get anything done?
Oh, a ton. I had a cake. It was with an easy bake oven, so it doesn't take any time.
Oh, wow.
An
Great.
easy bake oven. Wow.
So good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's amazing.
It's not just for
It
kids.
really does make it easy.
It's so easy.
Mhm.
Hey, let's break this movie down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we should do it with 4 segments.
Great.
If that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Is there a 5th segment in the tree?
There is. 1 second.
What is that?
It says hot toddy.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think we should throw the hot toddy
I
in?
don't know if it's.
We didn't
today's the
prep
right
for the
one.
hot
we
toddy.
didn't prep for
but
the
we
hot
could
toddy.
do it.
I'm feeling confident about it as we've talked
Okay.
about it. here.
Maybe Betsy will lead that segment for us.
I think maybe. Let's start with the hot take, though.
Yeah.
It's a traditional hot take with a traditional hot taker. His name is Panda. You always kick us off with your this hat continues to blow my mind every time I see it. It is a black hat with black panda
Mhm.
on it. It's black on black.
It's a black and black
It's phenomenal.
panda hat.
Take us to the hot take town. Population Panda. What do you think of Open by Christmas?
Yeah, so I started off not being a huge fan of this movie. I thought it was a little slow for me, but as I started getting more into it, it started winning me over. About the halfway mark, I really started digging the mystery here about who it was. And even though I knew, I didn't know how we were going to get there. You know what I'm saying? And there was
How'd you feel about how we got there?
I liked it. I liked where at one point they identified the handwriting and it wasn't who you thought it
double
was.
cross.
It was a
Well,
little double cross.
Not the
That
first one of
got
those
me.
this week.
I looked at my wife and I said, "Oh,
Not
I
the
said,
last
"Didn't
one of
see it
those
coming."
this week.
No, not. That's true.
That's right.
But man, the end of the movie gave me some feels. I love giving a house to somebody. That's fun. So overall, it's not gonna be one of my favorites. But man, I sure did enjoy myself, and I would definitely keep it on. It was not offensive to me.
No, we don't want to talk about what's offensive, but
No.
boy. Betsy, welcome to the hot take zone. It's your turn to give that hot take on Open by Christmas. What do you think?
Okay, well, I agree with Panda. It was a little slow, but it was kind of a nice change of pace compared to like other ones. And then I thought like the lighting was darker, and so I just thought that kind of like kept in theme with the slower pace. I don't know if I'm crazy, but that's what I thought. But I also had You've Got Mail vibes where at the end, she was like, at least in the You've Got Mail, she's like, I wanted it to be you so badly. It was kind of like that. So. Similar. I mean, it was good. I like Allison Sweeney and Brennan. I didn't feel like Brennan was in it a lot. Did y'all, or am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy.
You're
You're not crazy, Betsy. I'll have more in my hot take. I promise. You're not crazy though, for sure.
Oh, good news. Yeah.
So I do like this movie. I liked it more than my wife, who's
You liked the movie more than your wife?
Yeah, I know that's shocking.
Man.
I was watching this movie with my wife.
How are
on
you
a
still
Friday
married?
night. And she made it an hour in, and she's like, "This movie's putting me to sleep. I'm going to bed." So I put my headphones on. I connected the Roku to the Bluetooth. Watched the rest of it with my headphones.
Thanks
on.
for explaining how you watched this. Without
I
her.
will say,
Bluetooth is wild.
It's unbelievable.
Bluetooth is wild, but also probably not the best way to watch these movies because there's a lot of little audio weird things that
Hey,
happen.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
When Bluetooth first came out, did you ever mock it, saying it's never going to catch on? Because I did.
Oh, no. When I saw it for the first time, I was like, this is going to revolutionize. Like, I immediately was like, wait a minute, you can do that? This is going to revolutionize all of it.
I didn't see that. I sat there and I remember making fun of it.
You also bet big on Zune. So maybe you're not the best.
I did bet big on Zune. I did.
This is my whole thing. I really, really like this movie until I think about it. Like until I really spend the time and think about it. Because all I could think about as this movie was wrapping up and the credits were rolling is if I'm Brennan Elliott, I'm not making it to the end before I tell you. Like when you walk in, when she walks in for the first time, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh. Like when if you see somebody from high school that you had a big crush on and they walk in, are you going to go that long without?
The more you think about this movie, the more embarrassed you get for all of these adults involved in this movie. That is the thing. None of them come out well in this movie. I'm just letting you know right now, all of these adult people who are 40 years old, it's their 22nd, they've been out of high school 22 years. These 40-year-old adults have all lost their minds collectively.
Okay.
Like that's what's happening in this movie.
I don't know about that. All I'm saying is I would have, I couldn't get past the fact that this is all like half a month of knowing who you are. I know who you are.
That's right. And acting
like I don't know. I just, the more I thought about it, the less that like it took me out of it. So I'm going to choose not to think about it. And I'm going to just like this movie a lot because I do like this movie a lot. I like the performances almost all the way around. And I'll leave it at that. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I just don't want to think about it.
I bet I know the performance you didn't like.
Go ahead.
I
know. I don't want you to make guesses.
So here's what we have. We have Brennan Elliott and Allison Sweeney, who are terrific together.
Legends.
Terrific on their own, terrific together. And they are surrounded by an awful movie. Just a really bad movie. And here's the thing is, they don't get enough screen time to save it. It is an afterthought. Brennan Elliott, I mean, listen, I have said this on this podcast numerous times. I think he's one of the 3 or 4 best leading male actors. He actually delivers a different performance every time he does one of these movies. He reads the script.
You're just echoing Panda
character.
at this point.
Panda said this for years. He is a guy that in this movie, he's goofy and weird and awkward.
Yeah.
In that movie with Autumn Reeser, where he's a chef, he's very like direct and like calling shots. When he's a teacher in that movie with Lacey Chabert, like he actually gives a performance every single role. And this guy in the credits gets an "and" by his name. He is not the first lead. He's not the second lead. He's not the third lead. This guy's the 4th lead in this movie. He's basically a supporting actor. And it is a shame. How dare you, Hallmark? What Allison Sweeney and Brennan Elliott do in this movie is a sideshow. I appreciate the fact they want to have these 2 girls have this fun adventure together and like have this fun time, like remembering high school and all this stuff. Great. But to write the best part of this movie as a sideshow is just unforgivable. When those 2 aren't on the screen together, the movie, in my opinion, is unbearable, illogical, unwatchable. When those 2 are on the screen together, it actually works. That they have this weird chemistry that just his awkward goofiness and her like being very unsure of what her life is, where she's chasing after an anonymous love letter, 22 years later, like neither of those two people are acting like an adult, but for some reason you put them together and it just clicks. And instead we only get like 25 or 30 minutes of that. And that's unfortunate. The rest of the movie is really bad. And so for me, I put it in my rankings already. It wound up in the middle because it wasn't good, but it's not nearly as bad as Christmas Treasure, some of the, Coyote Creek, but it's not nearly as good as some of the others we've seen. But the Brennan Allison combo makes it rise above bad. So it just is a step above that. But that's unfortunate. You did Brennan wrong, in my opinion. Brennan took one for the team here. He did a great job. He didn't phone it in, and you only gave him 20 minutes of screen time, and that's on you guys. I'm just telling you. That was infuriating to me.
That's on you.
It's on you. You hear me? It's on you.
But you guys are with me, right? Like a half a month of.
But okay, all right. We'll do this now. The two women, Simone and Allison Sweeney, are putting stock in a letter written by a 17-year-old boy 22 years ago like it still matters.
Yep.
That's dumb. Brennan Elliott wrote the letter, has been married and divorced since, and he's still acting like he's had a long unrequited love for her for 22 years. That's ridiculous. This guy, the new dad, is bought a house for this woman, and instead of just surprising her, is inflicting psychological trauma on her by the truckloads by never being available for her ever under any circumstances. And this woman thinks she still has to impress a mom, even though she's 40 years old, and thinks that her husband is already an absentee father. None of these people are acting like they're adults. It's absurd. It just is.
But that house was great.
Oh, such a good house. Such a good house. Let's get to all the feels. This part of the show, we talk about what this movie gave us feels. Panda feels?
Yeah. So
Panda comma feels.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
Panda. Do you have any feels about panda bears in this movie?
Oh, I love pandas.
Oh, they're great.
They just eat bamboo all day.
They're like,
Panda. Simone's living room just gave me the most Christmassy feels
I can't imagine leaving that place
ever.
Like she had
It's a living room about the size of this set, has 2 Christmas trees in it.
But it is the cutest little quaint little lodge feel to
Exactly.
it. It's got a vibe.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, okay, we've seen Hallmark do like over the top Christmas. They opt for, and I think Betsy, you mentioned this. It's a little bit darker in that room, right?
Yep.
And it's a little bit darker.
Real fire.
Real fireplace going on. They made that room so cozy, and like I sat there and it reminded me of my childhood living room when my mom would do that, and we'd have the fireplace going.
My grandma's
just
living room.
Yeah, and it's like an instant nap inducer. It's awesome. It's just wonderful. But it gave me all the Christmas feels, and it really did take me back to like my own childhood home with that. And I don't know, I just love that. I love that room. And then obviously the ending where he gives her the house. It shouldn't have worked, but I was smiling the whole time. I loved it.
Betsy, do you have any feels?
Well, I do have to I'm going to backtrack because I'll forget this. Brennan Elliott, have you seen Cedar Cove? He is so such a nasty character in that, and he's such a good actor. I just have to say that. So you're absolutely right.
I've not seen Cedar Cove, but I saw the first season. I saw the first season and a half of Unreal on Lifetime, and he plays the game show host who's kind of conniving, and he's great in that. And so he 100% is, but I've not seen Cedar Cove.
He's also just the best dude.
He really is.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever have a chance to watch that, you'll be shocked, the kind of character he plays. But just had to say that if anyone hasn't seen Cedar Cove, watch it. It was canceled after 3 seasons, and I don't know why. But where were we? All the feels.
Yep.
I liked the margarita scene when they were distilling on their mutual embarrassment at high school. It's kind of we get all right. You've had some moment, and it was but it was sweet. You could see them connecting over it, and both they were so good in that scene. That was one that I really liked. And also the living room, like you're mentioning, had the paneling, so it definitely felt like your grandma's living room.
Yeah, I mean the wood paneling was a choice, and I loved it.
And the low ceiling, there's something about that room. I got. It gave me feels. It was my feels, the living room, by the way. But also I found myself just being like, you're not appreciating this living. You're not appreciating this.
You don't know
living
what
room.
you got till it's gone. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I loved it. Like, why? Like that? How the house, her dream house, is generic.
Yep.
Yeah.
The current living room has a vibe.
Yep.
That you can't replicate it.
No.
It has personality.
It has
got
personality.
integrity.
It's got
I loved it, man.
It's got
Seemed
love.
like a log cabin almost.
I
It
know.
did. Yeah, it did.
So good.
You're right.
But no, by all means, go to.
Don't it always seem to go?
Don't know what you got till it's gone.
Paved paradise.
Picked the
Put up
wrong
a
house
pumpkin.
for Christmas.
2 trees.
Dan, what do you got, pal?
It's not earned at all. At all, it's not earned. It couldn't be further from earned. It's a lot of grace here, but Sweeney delivering the line, "I hoped it was you," at the end of this movie, not earned at all. Once again, these two people are not. They're acting like they're 12 years old. They're 40 years old. Get it together, people. But for some reason that worked, and I think it's just the performances. Her saying that to Brennan Elliott.
Can I just?
Still worked.
I understand what you're saying. I just want you. So she is 40,
Yeah,
in her 40s.
yeah.
She's never been married, right? She thought that she was a complete loser that no one liked in high school. There's a lot going on in her life, Dan. Her parents are moving her childhood house. She finds this letter.
Yeah.
You can't put yourself in her shoes and think there might be a little flutter. There might be a little something that goes on. You wouldn't try to figure out who wrote that?
But the problem is not that. I think all those are valid, but putting stock that this person still feels this way is absurd. 22 years ago. What did you write? Did you ever write any notes to any girls in high school, Brandon?
Sure I did.
Okay. You feel the same way about those?
No.
Why would you? That would be weird if you did.
That would be weird.
It would be weird if you did. So for
This
a
is what
40-year-old woman to go, what if he still feels the same way? It would be weird if he did. You wouldn't want that person.
Even if the person's single?
You would, if that person has just been sitting there.
Not sitting there, but
if that person still has those feelings for you 22 years later, has never mentioned it to you, and it's just been in your hometown around the corner, you don't want any part of that.
Making friends with your parents.
No. That dude's worn some skin suits. You don't want any part of that guy. I'm just telling you right now, you don't. And you and I, you know I'm right, Panda. You know I'm right.
I think
you don't want any part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. It's the optics aren't great on it.
They're not great.
Betsy, what do you think as a female? Is what Brennan does here, is it above board? Not weird?
Well, I think maybe he was like, the reason he didn't mention it because maybe he thought it would be weird if she thought that he was still like pining over after all these years, and he was just kind of like waiting it out, trying to see, should I even bring this up? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's just seeing how things worked out. I mean, it is odd. You never know. There are some odd ducks out there who might still feel that way, but not in this movie.
Yeah, here's the thing is, if he had told her in high school, hey, I have a crush on you, and it didn't work out, and then he went and got married, and then she comes back, and he's like, you remember I had that crush on you? I'm cool. I'm fine. But for him to literally never say anything, to never shoot his shot, means he's a weird boy. So this is weird. This is not okay.
All right, let's take a break.
I'm
we'll
sorry,
come back with the way I'm on your side, I think, because that was my point.
Yeah,
like I don't want to think about it too much.
Here's what this should have been. I think if her and her friend find this and they go, this is so silly, but what if we tried to like track this down as just for like, the problem is
here's the thing. It works better if when he it works better if it comes out earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they're just connecting.
Yeah.
Right?
But here's the thing is, like, yeah, he can say, hey, I loved you for a while, then I met somebody else.
Because what ends up happening is he knows that he wrote this letter and never told her. And he's just sitting there the whole time, just looking at her.
But just as bad as that, in my opinion, is these two grown women are putting stock into these words. Like, it's not like, oh, this is cute for a high school boy to write this to me. Let's go on a fun adventure and like meet some old people from high school and talk to them forever. They're putting legitimate stock into this possibly being the long lost love of her life. That's embarrassing and it's dangerous.
Yeah, just don't think about it though, because it's a really fun movie if you don't think about it.
I think you just need to live a little.
Just a little.
I
Live
think
a
you
little.
need to live a little.
Yeah.
We'll be right
Walk
back.
the streets of Seattle at night or wherever.
We'll be right back here on Deck the Hallmark.
Thanks for the candy.
Hey, have you guys heard about bras?
Yeah, I have.
Oh wow.
Man, what a great day it is to talk about Third Love, the website, the company that is revolutionizing the way to find a bra. It has it's been a game changer for my wife. I was just talking to her about it, how great of a process it was, because you go online, you fill out the quiz. It's like a personal shopper almost. Like they figure out the perfect bra for you and they send it. And here's the great thing. And she was bragging about how great the customer service is, because the first bra that she got wasn't actually a great fit, and she sent it back and they made it right. The customer service is great.
Unbelievable.
They make sure that they actually are fulfilling the promise of finding the perfect bra for you. And here's the good news, everybody, is Third Love is giving you 20% off your first order by going to thirdlove.com/deck. That's 20% off at third, THIRD, love.com/deck. I think you're going to be really happy. 18 million people have found their true bra size with Third Love, and you could be next. It's thirdlove.com/deck today. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, we're back here all of DTA.
Let's talk about the wait what's here in this movie. We've already talked about some of it, I guess, but Panda, Third Love. Wait, what? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a few here. First of all,
got the bottom on a Third Love and a Third Love on the bottom. All right, boys?
Am I right? Yeah.
Go ahead.
So good. The very beginning of this movie, she's there presenting something.
It's about efficiency optimization.
About efficiency, and there's wait what's that abound in that entire scene. But I want to talk about the boss's response real quick, to which she says, "We're implementing Nikki's strategic plan, and you'll all be receiving a little extra gift in your paychecks, Christmas bonuses." What's the connection there? Like, is it?
I swear to you, they got that boardroom and they wrote that scene as they were filming it.
It makes no sense.
The echo chamber that they are in that room too, when she's talking, the echo is crazy.
It's wild.
And then apparently she decided, as you've pointed out, which is, hey, thanks so much, Nikki. You don't work here, but since you're here, let me go ahead and talk to the rest of these
about
folks
their Christmas bonuses,
about the office bonuses.
At first I was like, okay, Nikki's part of the company.
She's
but
not.
Then you realize she's not. So that just makes the entire conversation and the connection behind, we're going to implement your strategic plan and you're all getting bonuses. What's the tie in that?
Doesn't make any sense.
Weirdly, I don't understand it.
None.
At one point they mentioned that this individual had to have played winter sports because of the way that the card was written, and they said, "Congratulations, it's on a Christmas
about
card."
a defeat or them beating their rival, a specific team.
Correct.
Yeah.
But they mentioned that football is the winter sport that they kind of land on. But
basketball,
then,
I thought.
Well, at first they say football. Somebody suggests football.
What? So yeah, because remember, and then they said football. We never beat that team. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Football. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not a winter sport.
So,
should have never even come up.
Football and basketball overlap in November in most high schools if they go to the state tournament.
But that's still not considered a winter sport.
It's not considered a winter sport, but most people would say that you could get there like in early November if that would be it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two more real quick. First of all, she asked if he was driving and it's his car, which I know he points out, but it is still the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then finally, this is wild. Somebody says, Shakespeare, the quote is from Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And they say Shakespeare's most famous play about unrequited love, which is Romeo and Juliet. I would like to point out, for those of you who have read Romeo and Juliet, not unrequited love. The love is quite requited.
Well, they don't end up together.
They don't. fair, but that's not unrequited.
They do declare their love for each other multiple times. I can't believe I can catch that.
It is wild to me.
Some might say they requited a little too much.
That's right.
I would say that's very requiting.
That's right.
To the point maybe you should
I
have.
could take it down a couple notches.
Yeah, please do.
Julius Caesar, Shakespeare's most famous play about peace, kindness, and no murder.
What? Like
Wait a minute. There's murder in there.
I'm confused. I have some questions. I've read Shakespeare.
I love it.
All right, that's what I got.
Betsy, what you got?
Okay, well, this is kind of about this movie and many movies in general that I'm noticing on Hallmark Channel. Do they all involve real estate sales? Like, it seems like every single movie, someone's selling something. I'm like,
It does feel that
really?
way
Does
lately.
anything else happen in the world of Hallmark
No.
Channel? Lots of real estate going on. That's
It
just
does
something.
feel that way lately. It does feel
It's
like a lot
2021,
of those
it's
movies
booming.
are, Chad Michael Murray can't fix the pier. That's all I know.
Can't fix the pier.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's been on my chest for a while, and I had to get it off.
that's
Maybe
fair.
someone else will involve something other than real estate. I mean, there are other things that happen in the world. I think
I
maybe. Wait, what? I had something and it went away. Well, it's there. Hold on. Oh, when they're like in the Christmassy shop and he's pointing out all like the old-timey Christmas things, and he was like, I want something from when she was a kid. And it's like they're acting like she was a kid in like the 40s, and that would have been like in what, like the 80s maybe? I think like she would have been a kid like the late 80s. What were Christmas trees like in the 80s? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I was like, well, okay. And what else? There was something else. Oh, the same scene. Okay, so when they're like getting coffee and he's like giving her this talk, like, well, maybe you just are afraid of rejection. And he had like a smile on his face while he was saying it. And it was just like odd. I thought that was just like an odd thing to kind of like have the smirk, like, oh yeah, I'm telling you how it is. You are afraid of rejection. But it was just weird to me because she was obviously offended. And then they just kind of like cut away from that scene. I was like, okay, odd. Yeah. And
Typically
obviously
telling someone they're afraid of rejection and smiling at the same time, not a great idea.
But you would expect it for somebody who has gone this long without telling her.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's not the only skeleton in his closet. Literally,
the human skin suit. Just really
Listen.
well.
Oh man. Do you have any other, Betsy?
Well, I mean, obviously the obvious at the kind of the end where she's like, my son wrote this. And like, oh, it's her other son. It was Jeremy. And I was like, well, that was a twist, which was kind of nice because I mean, these can be quite predictable sometimes. So I was like, oh, a twist. Interesting. And then it kind of wasn't a twist, but it kind of
Yeah.
was. But I was like, okay, well, yeah. But that's all I have.
I love that Hallmark they don't want to have a twist for too long.
No. That would be people would be like, wait a minute, do I have to pay attention?
They just immediately give
Yeah.
the resolution there. I have a same scene,
Wow.
another instance of this guy smiling at a time that I don't think is appropriate. Is he's talking about his wife and how they got a divorce because they're not compatible. And he seems giddy.
Yeah, just we weren't compatible.
We weren't compatible. And I'm just pumped about it. I'm thrilled. I wrote down pink sauce. Don't know why.
She says you want me to make you the spaghetti you like with
the pink sauce.
Pink sauce is a type.
Is
Isn't it typically a vodka marinara?
Yeah,
that kind of like lightens
it's
it
a little
up
bit.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit lighter. I like it.
I do too.
It's a little bit creamier.
At the very beginning, I was confused, but then I ended up taking it away because I figured it out. But he says he's taking Anthony to basketball practice, and then he says, "I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah, I don't.
Now I figured
just telling
out because they don't live together, and so I guess he's just dropping Anthony off to come back inside.
Yeah.
But he's coming in to say goodnight or something, right?
But he also they're going to work on he's going to work on the house.
Yeah.
And he can't come back around.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Which is that your last one?
Nope.
Okay, keep going. I just like we can just take a sidebar here because I have so many others.
Sidebar.
The number of lies that this guy tells to keep a secret that he's bought her this dream house, it borders on psychopathic. Like, you are gaslighting this poor woman. Like, every time she wants to hang out, he's like, oh, honey, I wish I could, but I can't. I've got to lie. Like, there's like, he lies a dozen times in this movie.
But it's for Christmas.
But I just don't understand how you can ever. I mean, I'm happy she gets the house of her dreams, but at what point is it just the trauma that you're inflicting not worth it? He's just a liar.
No, it's worth
Like
it.
she has to be going to bed at night going, do I really want to marry this guy? I feel like he's never telling me the truth.
Now, they also, this is also part of lie, I think, but I don't know. Does Anthony have a high school basketball game on Sunday or not?
I have no clue.
She has to go to the market with the mother-in-law, but she can't go to Anthony's game, which is on a Sunday. But I don't know if Anthony actually had a game on Sunday.
Can I just say this?
No clue.
I have a lot to say about this in the Hallmark section.
The Anthony's basketball?
Yes,
Okay,
I have
great.
a lot to say about it as a basketball coach.
Last but not least, mother-in-law, mom to Jeremy. They're making some cookies, and Anthony finally comes in and says, "Mom, I want to hang out with you." And mother-in-law, future mother-in-law, is like, "You go. I'll finish these up. I'll whip up another batch of frosting." Now, that bag could not be more full of frosting.
It's slam packed.
Why do you need another bag of frosting?
I don't understand.
I'll whip up
That
another.
makes
I'll
sense.
whip another batch.
That makes
No
sense.
problem. No problem. Dan?
We talked about she's an expert in efficiency optimization. She has this meeting, and then basically they don't talk about it the rest of the movie, which is great. But at the end of that scene where the boss gives big boss man, woman Jeffries gives everybody a Christmas bonus, they walk out together, and big boss woman Jeffries like, I thought it was great, and Allison Sweeney's like, awesome. And then the boss goes, what's your availability in January, which is about 5 weeks away?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I'm free. She's free all month. Your job is not going well. How are you paying the bills if you have nothing on the calendar for the entire month of January? When companies typically are trying to figure out how to optimize their efficiency because they're not getting, the money that they were getting over the holidays.
And not just that, she can on a whim take a full month of December off.
Yes.
It's either going really well or it's not going well. Really bad. I really could go either way.
There's a lot of wait what's in this movie, and I've got a lot written down. But the biggest one to me is this middle of the day Christmas party that features a class reunion of 22 years. She gets invited to this party by this woman who they say they went to school with. And they show up, and it's the middle of the afternoon. I mean, it's bright outside. And there are no less than a dozen plus people, more than that, all who went to the high school together. Like, guys, I celebrated my 20th high school reunion this year by staying at home with my family, right? And I'm not saying it's not, like, it's normal to go to your 20th high school reunion. But it's a big deal. You schedule it in advance. You do all this stuff. How are this many people from the same high school class showing up at a random Christmas party they got invited to this week over 20 years after high school was over in the middle of the day? Like, how is that happening?
Their jobs are either going really well or they're not going very well at all.
I don't understand. They keep telling this story about the worst day of her life was this valedictorian story where she starts singing in the middle of it. It's a great bit because she keeps adding throughout the movie. Brennan tries to make you feel better. It's like, that's a 9.5 out of 10. I got a 10 of 10. And he tells a story about falling asleep at a debate competition where how many people are in attendance? Like over under 6. I'm sorry, Brennan. You falling asleep and talking about your mommy at debate probably has happened the same week yours did, first of all. Second of all, how many people are at a debate? You know how many people are at graduation, Brennan? Everyone. Everyone's at graduation. Hundreds of people, if not thousands. You and your debate competition story can go kick rocks.
That's true.
Do not bring that in here and act like it's worse than what she went through. I can't believe that he tried that. Look, I've given every adult in this movie a very hard time about their acting like they're 15 years old. And you know what? If we want to give them all a pass, that's fine. Why is Allison Sweeney carrying this card around in her purse to church?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is she carrying this card in her purse to church?
Because you never know when he might have to,
Whip
compare
it out
handwriting.
and see, right? Is this you?
I think that this is what happened. She was carrying it around because she was carrying it around to parties, right? And then she just kind of left and
Why was she
forgot
carrying
it in
around
her
to
purse.
parties?
Well, just when you're just to okay, so she took it to the first guy to just be like, "Hey, is this you?" But then it just stayed in the purse. It's like when you carry around random stuff in your car. You don't mean to carry it around that long in your car, but it's just there. And so when all of a sudden somebody needs like a wrench, all of a sudden you have a wrench.
This card from 22 years she has on her person at all times.
I think she just keeps forgetting to take it out of her purse.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look, right?
The optics aren't great.
The optics aren't great. How much has your handwriting changed since you were 18 years old? Mine has changed none. In fact, it's probably gotten worse because I don't write.
My handwriting's worse.
Yeah,
way worse.
I want to be clear. This guy who wrote this letter, his fiance has read the letter multiple times.
Yeah, didn't. Yeah,
can't pick his handwriting out of a lineup.
No,
can't
but
do it.
Mom, who hasn't seen handwriting,
seen handwriting forever. This woman is about to marry this man.
It's a mom. It's mom.
Is about to marry this man, and literally doesn't ever once go, "This looks familiar." Doesn't once go, this, I think something around. He left a note about where he was going. Not once. Does it happen? All movie. Could have solved this thing. Could have been over in 5 minutes. Just absurd. And then lastly, they make a brief mention that Allison Sweeney's character, and I want to get this straight, tested out of high school calculus during first semester.
I don't know how that's possible.
That is not a thing that you can do. Calculus is taught as an AP class for college. You can't just test out of it like you're in college. Right?
I don't know.
Am I wrong?
I never got that far.
Yeah, that's fair. That's all I got.
I'm not the one to ask about that, but I would assume if you know it, you know it, right?
Maybe she took that's the thing is they offered the AP exam early. I would get it, but they don't.
Yeah. But you could take I took an English class in the middle of the year. I tested out of an English class in the middle of the
Were you
semester.
homeschooled?
No, in college.
No, in college you can do it. You can clap out.
Clap test, yes.
Yeah, I clapped out of all my math.
Yeah.
Clapped out of Spanish, I did all that.
Yeah, me too.
This is happening in high school.
Yeah, no, I did all the time.
You can't clap in high school?
No clap in high school.
There's no
It's a no high school clap situation.
All I do is clap. It's just nonstop. I'm always.
You're a big clapper.
You're always clapping.
Gosh, yeah. So you said, "Hey, Mom, let me just take a test. I'll take a test and
We'll
I'll
see what
show
happens."
you that I can do this, and then we don't have to do it anymore."
Tested out of all the calculus.
That's right. Hey, let's get to what the Hallmark Spark Show we wonder what could have been. Maybe having some clarity questions that we still have. What are we still wondering after watching this movie that ties everything up really nicely? Panda?
Yeah. This isn't a wait. What? This is a legitimate. I want people's feedback on this.
I love feedback.
So they're showing the house to sell the house, right? And the parents are there the entire time during the showing, and they're having a meal in the kitchen. Like they're just all sitting there, like sipping on coffee or eating something during a house showing. And my understanding was you always try. Whenever we had a showing, you tried to get the heck out of Dodge. You try to get. You really do.
They're just having tea,
but they're sitting there, and I felt like it was an incredibly awkward situation.
It's actually not legal,
really,
for you to be there, and it's a new requirement because some homeowners were showing prejudice as to who was buying the house and who wasn't. So they would take a lower offer from someone that they liked the color of their skin or their religion. And so
I don't believe that.
This is
not here.
I know
America.
there's no way in America
Not
that this
here.
will happen, right? This is an actual real estate. It's an actual law on the books now that you cannot actually know anything about your buyers. You're not supposed to. Now, most real estate agents tell you anyway, but you're not supposed to reveal any information about the buyers aside from their offer. That is it.
So what? So it's even shady if you're hanging outside your house.
Yes, not allowed to do it
with binoculars.
Definitely shady at that point.
Really?
Yeah. Not skin suit shady, which I saw live. Yeah, everybody's in complete flesh colored onesies, and they're doing all Slim Shady stuff. It's wild.
It's great.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, but that was just my what the Hallmark.
Betsy, what are you still wondering about after seeing this movie?
Well, Allison's character, I forget her name already. That's terrible.
Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki. I wonder, did she ever have a relationship in high school? Has she had a relationship since? Is that why this card means so much? I mean, they didn't even talk about if she had any other relationship. She just said single. So I'm like, that's kind of sad. It makes me think of that one movie with Steve Carell. I don't know, when he was he's 40 years old or something? What is it?
40-year-old
virgin?
virgin.
Yeah. And they're all 40 here. So I'm just saying poor Nikki, she just hasn't had a relationship. Maybe that's why she carries it around in her purse. And
That's fair.
I mean, I would like to see a flashback. I wish they had done some sort of flashback when they were in high school and had like cast the younger versions of them. Like maybe at the end when you see after they've kissed her or something, you get to they flash back and you saw them interacting in high school to see like, did they even know each other's names really in high school? Because it obviously didn't seem like it, which is weird. Just, I don't know. There should have been more there just to see the youthful, Nikki and Derek. There's his name. And then the last thing I have to say, this is back to Gilmore Girls, but there's an episode at the graduation when Rory's graduating from Chilton, and there's this kid who was on Broadway apparently, and he was out of school for like a year, but he gives the graduation speech, and he's talking, and he said, "This makes me think of a song," and she's sitting there with her from Paris, and she goes, "Please don't do it, Brad." And he starts singing, and they go, "Oh, Brad," and everyone's just like kind of cringing, and that made me think of that, and that's all I have to say.
Gosh, I love Gilmore Girls.
do
Me and
too.
Panda love Gilmore Girls.
Yeah,
Love
I've
Gilmore
never
Girls.
seen it.
Yeah.
I'll talk
that's
all
so
day
good.
about Gilmore
I could
Girls.
watch. Yeah, I could
Let's
talk
do
about
it.
Gilmore Girls all day.
I'm here for it. Like I love it.
So
Do you love Gilmore Girls?
Oh, gosh, I love it,
Okay,
dude.
just making sure.
what I want to know is, did Derek know that when he took this job to sell her parents' house, did he know that she was who she was? Do you know what I'm saying? So he goes in, takes the picture down, if you guys recall this, correct? Takes the picture down, puts up this thing, and then he looks over at her for the first time, and then looks down at the picture
Yep.
and has like this realization.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
Did he know who they were, or was he just? I didn't know what that scene
No,
meant.
that is a wild scene. I assumed he had never known her.
That's the way that it felt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, oh, you're clearly the daughter.
It didn't. That's out of place.
So did he not realize who she was? At what point did he realize this is Nikki
I think
from
that
high
scene
school?
just doesn't work.
I don't know. Those are. I just want
I
to
mean,
know.
he would recognize the last name.
Yeah.
You would think
It
so?
just
someone
doesn't
he's
make
been
any
in love
sense.
with.
Yeah, dude, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that was weird. I threw. I know it's
No, it's
clearly
bad,
just to
dude.
throw
It's
you
just
off, but
so
it threw
bad.
me off a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's bad.
Dan?
I'm 99.9% sure that this kid does not play JV basketball. Hear me out. First of all, he says in the FaceTime that he made the team point guard, not on your life, kid. First off.
Oh, man, he's the next day.
Love you. Sorry. Second of all, he says he has a Sunday basketball game. Red flag. Third of all, and this is the kicker, he says that one of his friends on the team is a senior in high school, which is not allowed on the JV basketball team.
A JV team
This
is so
guy
good.
doesn't go to basketball practice. He didn't make the team. He's doing a bit where he's like, I made it, Mom. But he didn't make the team.
He's also eaten a lot for somebody who's made the basketball.
He didn't make the team. He got cut first round. It was a McNasty situation. And he's thrilled to help Anthony, or whatever his name is, make the house.
He's Anthony.
Yeah, he's thrilled to help
Jeremy.
Harold.
Jeremy, I just told you. It's
Jeremy. He's thrilled to help Jeremy with the house.
Wait,
Gives
so
him-
do you think
I think he's lying.
Jeremy
is
did
in
he,
on it.
Did he?
Jeremy's like, oh, you didn't make the basketball team? This is wonderful.
This is
Because I'm
perfect.
lying to your mom too.
This is perfect. This is perfect. So you keep lying to your mom. You lie to your mom, and then you can help me with the house.
Yeah.
What do I do about a Sunday? Surely
There's
she's
a
going.
game.
Surely there's going to be. She's going to know there's no games on Sunday, on the Lord's Day. Oh my gosh,
There
that's
it
good
is.
stuff. I like that
Yep.
theory. That's
I'm
really
doing my
good.
best I can.
Betsy, thank you so much for joining us. Tell everybody about how they can listen to you and keep up with everything that you're doing this holiday season.
Okay, I will, but I have a question for you, Brennan Panda. Are you team Jess, Dean, or Logan?
Ooh. We've had this conversation. I've changed my answer over the past 3 rewatches of it. I've 3 watches ago, I would have told you Team Dean. I'm now Team Jess.
You're team Jess now.
I've switched to
I
Jess.
why
feel
did
like
you
you
switch?
change your mind every time we have this conversation.
No, I'm Team Jess, and it's been that way. But Dean was my boy before. I think Jess's arc, he shows the most redemption and the most promise. I don't think any of the other guys do. Dean's just kind of a man, he's just a townie, man. Like he's not gonna.
I don't understand people that are Team Dean. He's the worst.
He's not the
Betsy,
worst.
what team are you?
Oh gosh, man. I'm rewatching it now and I love the first season. It's so cute seeing their first
Yep.
love, but I don't know if is it Milo or Milo? How do you say
It's Milo.
Milo and Otis. Well, duh. I
Yeah.
love Milo because oh my gosh, who doesn't?
Who
But
doesn't?
I gotta go with Team Justice because he is sassy and so likable, even when he's like unlikable. So yeah, Team
Yeah.
Justice.
And Logan, no one likes Logan.
Well, first of all, I am Team Logan on the larger scale, but
That's unbelievable.
But on a smaller scale, I'm Team Marty, which no one gives Marty enough credit. No one gives Marty enough credit.
Marty's a dope. Dude.
Marty's not a dope.
No,
Marty turns into a dope, but he's not a dope. I love Marty. Team Marty.
Oh
Team Marty.
But then I'm Logan. I'm Logan if I'm doing one of the big
That's
three.
unbelievable.
Dean's the worst.
No Team
Marty.
Tristan.
I still
Team Tristan. Yeah, I'm Team Tristan.
yeah.
Give me
You might as
Chad.
well have just said that. Jeez.
Stop.
Calm down.
Why are you so low on Marty?
I mean,
Marty's nothing, dude. Marty doesn't deserve her. He needed to be in the friend zone. I wish he would have kept him in the friend
after
zone
hearing
longer.
you guys talk about this, I feel like maybe I was too hard on the grown women who were out looking for the secret admirer.
No one needs that kind of negativity in our lives.
I'm Team Logan, is what I'm trying to say.
That's unbelievable.
And Logan's also clearly, as spoiler alert to anybody who hasn't seen the Netflix, also clearly the dad, right?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Because
it's Loki.
It's no. I hope that'd be so good. Because it's clearly just a parallel.
Yes.
And Logan is the parallel to Lorelai.
I agree with
and what's his name? The dad. Betsy, your podcast.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sidetrack. Well, Hallmark Happenings, you can listen to it at www.hallmarkhappenings.com. Happenings is a rarely used word I've come to learn, and many people are like, how do I say that? What? But it's happenings.
Wait, who is confused by the word happenings?
Wait a minute.
God,
Wait
you've never
good
heard the word
second.
happenings. Dear
It was
gracious.
so funny. Rhiannon Fish, she was like, Hallmark. And then Lucy Guest was on and she was like, what did you just say? And she was like, what? And it's happenings. So yeah, there's that. I'm on all the social media accounts, but gosh, Instagram is my go-to. So you could just check it out there. And the links and all that are on hallmarkhappenings.com.
And there's a great interview with myself, great interview with Dan.
Panda's still holding out, but we'll get there one day.
You guys
Someday,
are friends
Panda.
now. I feel like you guys you bonded over Gilmore Girls.
We bonded. We're besties now. I'm set.
You're a bestie with Betsy.
Yep.
Oh, that's clever.
No one's ever done that before.
Come on.
No. I like it.
Unbelievable.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here, Betsy, and thank you so much for listening, watching, however you're consuming our show. We're gonna be back tomorrow. And the day after that, the day after that, the day after that.
It's that time of
year. We take Sundays off.
We do.
It's the Lord's
Day.
JV basketball?
Not so much.
Not so much. But this podcast, we will take Sundays off until Thanksgiving. Until tomorrow, maybe we'll be the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in, Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.